It's time for the Scott Arthur Show. Join us every week as we talk Loogootee Lion baseball, exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
It's a challenging market. You're well aware of that. Edward Jones is too, which is why we're here, ready to listen and ready to help you find opportunity, something we've been doing since 1922 in good markets and bad.
So, let's talk.
Edward Jones, it's time for investing to feel individual.
Welcome to Scott Arthur on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network on our second edition of the Scott Arthur Show. And Coach, not much has happened since the last time we talked. You had the 3 quick games in 24 hours, and then the weather got the best of you. But I know you got a game in. The weather probably should have got the best of you that night, and probably did, but you got a game in. So talk about the one game you did get in this week.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we had issues with the weather this week. We lost the North Knox game. We'll make that up later. It's a conference game. But the one game we did get in, we played Vincent Gervais on Friday night. Like you said, we probably shouldn't have got it in, but we found a way to squeeze that in. The weather cooperated, I guess, so to speak. We were playing, it was probably 43, 44 degrees with wind and sleet and everything else. But the kids hung in there. We played well. We were able to get away with a 12-0 victory there. And, it's one of those things where you try to build off that and hopefully for better weather, better games in the future.
So and that's a conference game, so you probably would have had to make that up anyway. But talk about what games you've missed so far and which games you might be able to reschedule.
Well, like I mentioned, the North Knox game's a conference game. That'll be a big one. They tied with us in Bar Eve last year for the conference, and so we feel like they're going to be a legitimate opponent. We'll have to make that one up later on. The Sullivan game, there was a little scheduling snafu between us and Sullivan. I don't know that we'll get that one made back up. North Central that we missed on Saturday because of weather, we may try to get back together with them later on in the year to fit another game in, especially if time permits and the schedule permits us to do so.
And then this week going forward, you got a busy week?
This week we've got 3 on the schedule. We go to Vincent's Lincoln on Tuesday night. They're always a solid baseball program. Washington comes here on Wednesday night, and then we go to White River Valley on Friday to close out the week before the Easter weekend.
And of course, there's supposed to be rain this week. Now, tell me a little bit about what happens when there is a game canceled, particularly maybe a game that you want to make up or you need to make up. I know you're involved. I'm sure the athletic director is involved, but tell me the behind the scenes as to what goes on to try to get those games later in the season.
Well, both schools kind of get together, kind of throw dates back and forth as potential dates that we would like to fill, potential dates they would like to fill, and we try to see if any of those match up, first of all. From my perspective and from the small school's perspective, we're looking at pitching, what kind of arms we can have. It's a struggle for us to try to get more than 4 games in a week with the number of arms, pitch count rules, and everything like that, to where we don't have sore arms and everything leading into the following week. So that's what I look at from my perspective, what dates are available for us and what dates I feel I can fit a game in and still be competitive from a pitching standpoint.
You talk from time to time about numbers. Let's talk about that. Numbers are down, and I guess I'll ask you maybe your theory on why. Is it just a blip, or is it something that's going to last for a while? I know our ball fields are going through a little bit of a construction, I guess, thing, and I know you're a part of trying to get those games going in Little League and what have you, but numbers seem to be a challenge right now. What's your theory?
I'm kind of curious what is going on, because I was just at a banquet over the weekend, and I was talking to some other umpires there and some other coaches, and everybody's struggling with numbers right now. And I don't know if it's today's world and kids have found other things to do in today's society. I don't know if COVID, having a year off from the spring sports, may have set us back a little bit, because our numbers prior to COVID, we were carrying 18, 19, 20 kids at times, and this year I've got 13. And, there were some kids that sat out maybe that spring year of COVID and just realized, hey, there's other things I want to do in the spring, or they've gotten jobs and they got away from baseball, and baseball left their mind for a little bit. But I'm hearing there's a lot of other schools in the area that are in the same situation we are, that they're struggling to field enough so that they can have both a varsity and a JV schedule. and in some cases just enough for a varsity. I know even the smaller schools like Vincent Gervais and some of them, they had a girl that played for them the other night. They probably don't have enough for a softball team, so she's wanting someplace to play and participate, and she played for their boys team the other day.
Well, I think Vincent Gervais had a girl on the team when they went to the state a few years ago. They did, but.
And we'll be back right after these messages from our sponsors.
It's a challenging market. You're well aware of that. Edward Jones is too, which is why we're here, ready to listen and ready to help you find opportunity, something we've been doing since 1922 in good markets and bad.
So, let's talk.
Edward Jones, it's time for investing to feel individual.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get. You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Talk about the challenges to the number. There's 13 kids, something like that. And somebody may say, well, you only need 9. You got 9 in the field. But I know you can't field a junior varsity, and it obviously it's detrimental in a lot of areas. But why is 13 not enough?
13's not enough. The 2 times we've spoken so far, I've talked about arms, trying to keep arms healthy. At the high school level, we threw 8 different pitchers last weekend when we had the 3 games in 24 days. That leaves you 5 other kids. Not that they couldn't pitch, but they're just not accustomed to pitching and things like that. So it handcuffs you a little bit from an arm perspective. From a coach's perspective, the first thing you're looking at is arms. But the second thing I'm looking at is what kind of possibilities do I have for in-game substitutions, situations, things like that. If I pinch run a kid, I can't bring him back later on in the ball game, so I got to watch when I burn that kid as a pinch runner. Same way with a pinch hitter. If somebody gets hurt late in the game, and we saw this last year when we had low numbers, when Drew Walker hit the fence over down the left field line and had to come out of the game, we had to do some shuffling and put some kids in some places they weren't accustomed to try to get through that ball game there. So it handcuffs us on our flexibility and what we can do with the lineup and what we can do substitution-wise throughout the ball game.
So you've got 4 games in, 2-2. What are things that you like about your ball club, and what are things you're going to have to improve on going forward?
Well, of course, the games we've played haven't been real great on weather. So we're waiting to see how these kids react when we have some decent weather games to play. But our first game, we were we were probably a little bit over our heads the first few innings trying to figure out what we were going to do offensively. We weren't real aggressive at the plate. We took a lot of really good pitches that we could have been maybe attacking and doing better on. We worked on that over the course of the week. Since we had some bad weather, we were in the cages about all week long, and so we worked on attacking the baseball. From a pitching perspective, I've been more than satisfied with what we've been getting. When I look at the stats, and if somebody goes back and looks at the stats, they may say, hey, you've had a lot of walks for what you've had, but I feel like the walks haven't been like grouped together a bunch. We've kind of been able to spread those out. Guys have been able to throw strikes, and it's allowing our defense to have to make plays and put the ball, make the other team put the ball in play, make our defense play. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the warmer weather to see what our defense does and how they react. I mean, we've got some guys that are accustomed to their positions. They're solid with where they're at, but they just haven't got a lot of repetitions in practice, and so that's what I want to see come out of the warmer weather ball games going forward.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck, first of all, getting the games in this week, and if you do get them in, good luck.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
That's Coach Scott Arthur on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. You've been listening to the Scott Arthur Show. Join us every week as we talk Loogootee Lion baseball, exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.